In the 13th century, one of the greatest inventions was made. Not plumbing, not electricity, not the telephone, but the window. Windows are great. You can open them, you can close them, you can jump through them, and you can look through them. I know what you're thinking. What is the best window? So I got my handy dandy tier list here, and let's get ranking. First up is the dormer window. There's not much to really say here. It's just a standard window. It's the one we drew in elementary school. There's literally nothing special here. We're just gonna place that right at the C tier. Next is its cousin, the round circle window, which is literally the dormer window, but round. It's a circle. This is the one we put as the attic when we drew it in elementary school. Again, nothing special, C tier. Next is the egress window. This is an interesting window to say the least. Now, if you look at the window definition, a window has to be able to allow people to see out, and it also has to be able to admit light or air to be defined as a window. Now, the egress barely gets by in my opinion. This window, when you look at, all you're seeing is a brick wall. When it comes to air and light, it barely passes by with that. If you opened up that window, which I don't understand why, because there's probably a bird or a raccoon or something living in that little hole there. This is just a bad window, bad design. I don't like it. F. On a better note is the skylight window. The skylight window is just beautiful. It has great access to the roof. You can just climb out. You don't need to bring a ladder outside and get that whole setup ready. You can just go out this window. This window is amazing. It's beautiful. A tier. Next is the awning window. The awning window is almost identical to the skylight window, except it's not on the roof. It's just on a regular wall. The awning window looks like it would be in a movie or TV show. I can just see a main character using this window to escape a bad date or anything along those lines, and this window would be in the bathroom where they would escape from. B tier. The biggest fraud of the skylight or awning window is the hopper window. The hopper window is just the awning window, but upside down. The hopper window is just worse than the other two. You can't leave the hopper window. You can't jump out this window. You can't exit freely or easily. The only thing I can think of, or person that I can think of that could exit this window with ease, would be Spider-Man. This is just a bad window for that. D tier. Up next is the ugly glass block windows. Now these bad boys do not allow you to see out. I've seen these in person, and all they do is let light in, but I cannot see out of these windows. Everything's blurry and misshapen. It's like a funny mirror, but worse. I just don't like them. The only pleasure I've had with them was breaking one. I broke the window. It was great. It was pleasant. It made my day. And for that reason, it is at a D tier. Up next, we have the sliding windows. Now personally, I only like sliding windows when they're also used as a door, so you can exit and enter, because then it has two purposes and it's just great. But when you put this on a house, it just seems stupid to me. It seems weird. It seems wobbly. I don't like it. They get stuck sometimes. It's very annoying and jiggity and riggedy and iggity biggity diggity. I don't know. But bad window, only good as a window / door. So for that, it has their highs, it has its lows, and that's why I'm putting it at a C tier. Now we look at the casement window, which is more common and well known. The casement window just reminds me of any old country movie where the mother's cooking lunch and the kids are playing outside, and she opens up the window and says, "Honeys," or whatever she's calling them, and says lunch is ready or dinner's ready or whatnot. That's what that reminds me of. I don't know why. Now, for that reasoning, it could be seen as A tier because it has good fond memories. But I'm putting it at a B tier because that's too ideal, that's too perfect. It's not realistic enough. Life is not that good. Life is just not that fair. After this is the gardener window. Now, the gardener window is an interesting window. Now, I've never seen this window before. It's unique to say the least. This window just looks like it's over the top. If you want to grow plants and it needs sunlight, put the plants outside, okay? You don't need to do all this. This is just too much. I know maybe the person growing these plants doesn't want to go outside, so they water inside, but this is just too much over the top. I'm not a big fan. This is why I give it a D rating. This is a D tier window. The arched window is a fancy and common window. There's not much to really be said about this window. It's arched. Wow. So special. Not really. That's why it's a C tier. Not much to really be said here. Now, as a Florida boy, as we're called, we have many hurricanes that occur here. And usually we put up shutters to protect the windows, so our house doesn't collapse and all that fun stuff doesn't occur. Now these new windows approached where they protect you from that. They get rid of the need for shutters. These are storm windows. Now personally, I don't trust them. I think storm windows will break if a rock comes flying at it 80 miles an hour, but that's just my opinion. I trust shutters more, and for that reason, F tier. Next are car windows. Car windows are great. There's not much to really be said here. They help you see outside the car so you don't crash. They keep the AC in so the car can be at the right temperature you want. And that's really it. There's not much to a car window, except they're in a car and they are windows. For that, this is a B tier window. After this are tinted windows. Tinted windows are usually in cars, but they can also be put on houses. Tinted windows are just the windows but 2.0. They're great, they help keep UV rays out of the said location, and tinted windows let you look out without people really being able to see what's inside the house. That's really shady, but also helps in many different ways. You may know different ways this might be helpful. I won't go into them, but it's just great. For that, this is an S tier window. Next are these bad boys, the one-way windows. Now these are great. They do what they say. You can only see through one way. The other way is just a mirror. Now these are usually placed in interrogation rooms or other rooms as such. Personally, I would like one of these. Don't know what for or why yet, but they just seem like a load of fun. For that, these are A tier windows. There's nothing really to complain about. And last but not least is the Microsoft window. What can I say? It's a great window. S tier. That's the final lineup. Let's hear. Yay! Woo! We made it! If you're still here, look at link. Look at it. I'm gonna start streaming soon. Come join. Or don't. I'm not in charge of you. But